This episode is sponsored by Scotch Porter. Y'all niggas really need to start taking better care of yourselves. Out here looking dingy and dusty, wondering why y'all look 50 when y'all really 30. Looking like a zombie from The Walking Dead. If you head to scotchporter.com right now and use the code SI10, you get 10% off all products for your skin, hair, and beard. So maybe your beard would finally connect. Head to scotchporter.com right now and use the code SI10.
To all of our day ones, loyal fans and listeners, here's a chance to really show your support. Head to patreon.com/sophisticatedignorance and earn rewards from us, ranging from a shout out on air to exclusive content or becoming a guest on the show. We appreciate all your support.
It's so stupid.
Oh man! So
Hopefully
I
I
guess
broke complaining.
another disconnect, which is probably one of the hugest ones, is emotional needs. And I don't think dudes really clarify what their emotional needs are.
They don't know.
They don't know. And then they don't know how to express themselves either. So even if they did know, they don't know how to fucking tell their partner.
Because their mother told them to stop crying when they was little.
Well, that's a big thing that men don't address. Because that's more of a society thing. Like, you're not supposed to cry. You're a boy. Like, you gotta be strong.
Some of the best men that I know, who's just absolutely amazing, they're
Cry.
gay. No, they're gay. They're gay. And I'm always surprised how intuitive and nice they are. And not even flamboyant, but it's like they instinctively hold the door for you. They get out the car, open the car door for you. They make sure you're safe. They want to make sure you get in the car if you're taking an Uber. You know, they call, are you home yet? Are you okay? Did you eat? Like, did you have fun tonight?
People.
Yes. It's ridiculous. And everybody tells because they're gay, that's why they do that. Well, I don't know. Maybe you need some gay friends to teach you how to be more empathetic towards certain things. Because I don't understand why men feel like they can't show emotion. They got to be hard and everything. They have to roll off their back.
And I think I seen this on the Breakfast Club. I seen a snippet, and I think Amanda Seales said this. It's like the biggest issue is that men do not see women as their equal. Like, you're just a vessel for them to have sex with. They don't even look at y'all like human beings at all. So that's why all the things that's like basic, normal behavior is completely omitted. Because they just like, okay, I gotta just be here, spend some money, spend some time, and then hopefully she get drunk enough to the point where she come back to the crib. That's basically how they look.
Yeah.
That shit.
That's why everything we do is over-sexualized. You can't breastfeed. It's a pervert. You're being a pervert. You know, you're exposing yourself. Why does everything have to do with a man's arousal? That's the issue right there, but that's a different topic.
Yeah, that's a topic for a different.
I might talk about that shit next week.
So I guess so then what's the disconnect when it comes to women's emotional needs?
We don't know when to give and when to pull back at times. Sometimes we give too much. Sometimes we're told we don't give enough. So it's like, well, what the fuck do you want then? Now if I'm neutral and I feel like I'm doing just enough without overcompensating, it's still an issue. But then you're not in tuned into your needs and your wants, so you can't really express to me what the issue is. So then so either I'm crazy, I'm needy over emotional, or I'm just cold-hearted. But I can only give you but so much that you're giving me. If you're not telling me what you want and you need, I don't know how to give it to you properly. Like we all have, I read the book, we all have different love languages. If you don't, I love differently and I accept love differently, like I'm sure other people do. So we have to figure that out in order to be on the same page. The way I accept love and express love may not be your way. So if I don't know that, I can't show you in a way that you can understand and accept and feel it. And that's the issue. Nobody's communicating.
Yeah, and a lot of people, the biggest thing you said was, you know your love language or whatever. A lot of people don't know themselves, and then they try to pursue relationships or try to date, and it's like, you don't even have the ability to understand who you are. How are you supposed to understand a whole nother human being? Because people are complex, and dealing with somebody else is going to be somebody else that's complex as well, and it takes a lot of work. So if you don't understand yourself, it's going to be tough to, like, really, come together with somebody else.
It's exhausting.
You had a flashback?
It is exhausting. Like I can't do this no more. We can't.
Oh, God.
So we said women want men to try harder, and men want women to make it easier.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely a very common disconnect. Because niggas is tried. They don't want to work for nothing anymore.
That's what I just said. Like,
Yeah,
now
they
it's
don't
more of an
wanna work for
egotistical thing. Like, I'm a man. That's all I need to be is a man. That's it.
Yeah.
I was born.
And then you have unfortunate situations where you have some women that have given shit up too easily. So now they think it's the norm. So now if she just giving it up, everybody's supposed to be just giving it up. It's like, nah, some people gotta really work and earn this, and it's way deeper than just.
And
I
think that's the issue. They feel like, deep. Anyway.
Very mature.
Ooh, like I lost my train of thought. Oh, man.
Being a creep. That's what you get. You better, if you ever have the nerve to hashtag me too in the near future, fraud.
They're going to play this back. She asked for it.
Oh, man. So I guess, what's the next one? Women look for red flags when men look for green lights.
Yeah.
That's also very accurate.
He's like, I'm just trying to figure out if I could go yet. And she's like, nigga, you got to stop.
Well, not even that. I think because Bianca added this, shout out to Bianca. I think when she added that point, it's like for a lot of men, they don't even care about the depth. As long as she's pretty and she got a fat ass, it's like, okay, I'm game. But then with when it comes to like women with their red flags, some women could be very stubborn when it comes to like their red flags. So for example, let's say her red flag is like, her preference is like only like a specific type of dude who has these looks or whatever. And she'll ignore the red flag that he's fucking Lucifer reincarnated
right.
just because he looks a certain way and he's appealing. So I think that's where it comes from with like the disconnects when it comes to certain shit like that. Like dudes don't lack looking for depth. This is why they be having them crazy baby mother stories and you be like, yo, how do you even end up with a person like that?
Now
and you was just
like
concerned. Yeah, now you was just concerned because her ass was fat and you was off that Henny. And now you stuck with fucking Shanae.
As a child.
And as the baby mother.
Y'all ever watch Little Women Atlanta and it's that the black?
I'm not. You're not going. That was a crazy segue, and I'm not going there.
I'm sorry. All right. So when it comes to red flags, I was thinking more like trust issues. Like sometimes women get into a situation waiting for.
Or sometimes they'll deny the red flags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both. Yeah, guys.
Yeah.
Completely ignore that he is just abusive in ways that she hasn't caught on to yet.
Mm-hmm. Or
and just stay with him because it's
sometimes there'll be red flags,
for her.
and then she looks at herself like, okay, maybe I'm being over emotional, or I'm nagging him and shit like that. When it's like, no, this is clearly something that's wrong in the situation, and you just you ignoring the red flag because you don't want to lose your companionship. Or another thing is like women always looking at the potential of a dude when it comes to shit like that.
Right. So we also said that women are afraid of getting hurt and men are afraid of rejection.
This is also true. Before we jump into that, let's
another break?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
We got bills, yo. We got bills.
Steven paying them shits. Let's split bills.
Gotham Boutique, owned by sisters Nieema Simone and Tiara Monet, is your go-to for all of your beauty needs, offering services in eyelash extensions, microblading, skincare, permanent makeup, and one-on-one classes, and of course, makeovers. Use promo code GBSI to receive 15% off your service.
So yeah, before we went on break, we was talking about disconnects between men and women. You said men are afraid of rejection and women are afraid of being hurt. And I would have to agree. At first, I disagreed about this.
Wait. So, men aren't afraid of being hurt? Or are they just more afraid of
rejection?
The initial rejection.
At first, I disagreed
okay.
when Bianca put this down there and I spoke to her about it. I was like, I don't know, because a lot of niggas shoot they shot with a lot of confidence.
Right.
And then I kind of thought about it deeper, and I was like, there are some men that are afraid of rejection. Because I know for me, sometimes I do that. Because I feel as though, like, at certain times, depending on who I'm dealing with, I want to be in a position where I'm completely, like, self-made. Like, I'm good lifestyle-wise, I'm good professionally and things of that nature. because a relationship requires a lot. It requires a lot of work, requires sacrifice. And sometimes, if you don't feel as though you're completely all the way there, you may not be able to sacrifice for another person. So sometimes you even tell yourself, like, look, I'm not in a position to date right now. Now, there might be a woman that's out there that has no issue with where you are in that point in your life. But you would probably, fear that rejection because you may feel as though you're inadequate.
Right.
From that aspect.
And then it might come a time to where she just can't deal with it no more.
Yeah.
And then she leave.
Yeah. And then you have the other standpoint of women, are afraid of getting hurt. Because there's definitely, I know a bunch of women that have, been in unfortunate, relationships. And although that shit was years ago, they still let that shit affect them now when it comes to dating new people. Or not even dating at all. I see that shit on the timeline all the time. It's like chicks that they try to make it seem like they're so happy to be single because they're not out here, getting cheated on or being disrespected or breaking up or, hashtag relationship goals and not really goals when the couple fucking ends up, separating. And it's like, yo, you're filling your mind with all this negativity when it probably is somebody that's genuine out there. But, you are scared of possibly getting hurt again. And it's like you have no idea whether you're going to get hurt again or not. You can't control that.
Yeah, right. But I think that comes from women being more emotional in general. Like, we go in with hope, and I think men just go in like, whatever happens, happens.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why. I don't think no one wants to get hurt.
Yeah, nobody wants to get hurt. But I feel like some of y'all take it to the extent where it's like they isolate themselves.
Right.
So it's like, I'm not going to, even if a dude says hi to me, like, I'm not even going to entertain it because you just going to be like the rest of them.
I'm in a place where I have no problem with being cordial, like entertaining to a certain extent, but I know myself, I'm not ready to be in another relationship no time soon. And I don't like people trying to make me.
Mm-hmm. So
it may come off as me isolating myself, but it's just like, I know I'm not ready. So leave me the fuck alone.
Okay.
I can't speak for everybody else though, because some women really are just like, I hate men and die.
And that's the crazy
fire,
part
brimstone,
because that's the craziest part because a lot of females I see on the internet, they'll support when they see all them statements like that, like I hate niggas and all niggas is trash and shit like that. And then the one that be advocating it is the one that be getting married right the next day. Mm-hmm. So you just following a false prophet, as I like to call them. But
you can still feel that way being in a relationship. Because a lot of the people out here are just trash. That's like a valid opinion. A lot of people out here are trash. That's a valid opinion. I ain't say my man was trash.
I know some men.
I'm just saying the rest of the men. So people got.
We do say that a lot, yeah, but at the same time, I think it's reached the point where they try to make it cool.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's like
it's cool to be. I think we said this before, or Antoine. He said it before. It's cool to be a savage now.
Yeah.
I ain't got time.
And then when you end up 45 years old in the house with mad cats, and that blanket that you were supposed to finish 3 years ago.
Sheesh.
Life is tough, yo.
Gotta be quicker than that.
Netflix asking you, are you still there?
Where did I go? Where did I go?
And then I think probably the biggest disconnect is, men fall in love with who she is, and then women fall in love with the possibility of who he can become.
Definitely.
Because, again, I think we mentioned this already, it's like a woman would take the noticeable traits that she likes and she'll make this whole image of who he is as an individual and completely ignore all the fuck shit that he does all the time. And every time he does some shit, your homegirls will tell you, like, yo, why don't you just leave him and whatnot? And you'll be like, nah, he's a good dude. He just, he made this one mistake again. So it's like, you live in a lie. Like, he's shown you who he is.
Right.
But you keep having this image that that he's somewhat portrayed, and you just carrying on with that image, thinking it's gonna, become reality one day when it's not. Or by the time it does become reality, he's gonna be like 60.
Well, a lot of men I hear from now, they be like, yo, she don't do shit. She don't want to work. She don't want to do. I'm like, nigga, like, you didn't require anything from her.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was cute to make her feel like you're going to take care of everything. And now your pockets is getting a little malnourished, a little nervous. Now you tight. I don't know.
Yeah, I got nothing for nobody. I avoid the fuckery. So
I don't care.
Good luck.
I don't care.
And then, okay, so another big disconnect is, communication. I think that's probably going to be like the overlying theme with everything. Because I think all the issues that people deal with can somewhat be avoided. Like, there are circumstances where it's like somebody completely changes the script. Like, you have examples of like dudes completely showing their true character when an unexpected pregnancy happens or things of that nature. But I think a lot of times there's a lack of communication when it comes to men and women, and that lack of communication is detrimental because then you really, because you never really had a real conversation with that person, you really don't know who they are. Because it's like, I don't feel like people really have the proper conversations. Like, I think we mentioned this before in a previous episode. I think we actually mentioned it on the last episode with the first date stuff. I know we agreed like it's too early to have like, the 5-year or the 10-year plan talk, But I think there's a lot of couples out there or people that, we're dating, they don't really have those, conversations where it's like, okay, what is it that you really want to do with your life?
Right.
Because that can pretty much define like what kind of person you're
If y'all
dealing
make it
with.
to the second date, I feel like y'all could ask that.
Yeah, it's like people be like in long-term relationships and never really discuss like what do you really want for your life.
Because they don't know.
And we seen that in movies too. Like, she ends up saying she wants to have a kid and he never wanted to have kids in the first place, but y'all never had a conversation about it. And then y'all had to end this whole relationship that y'all been together for like 5+ years and whatnot.
That happened with a celebrity. Like, she's married and everything, and she told her husband way before, they even got engaged, she didn't want any children.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, okay. And then fast forward, damn near like 10 years later, he want kids, and now they having this big thing. But she's like, I don't want any children. I told you I didn't want any children. You said you didn't want any either. That's why we got married. That's why, we're here. And now you're trying to switch it up on me. She was upset. She's like, I feel like I'm guilty. I feel like, I kind of took something away from him, and that wasn't.
That wasn't the intent.
Yeah, that wasn't my intent. But he was also, he kind of lied to me too.
Yeah.
Like, you should have said, I don't mind having kids now, but I want some in the future. Like, that would have been a better.
Yeah, if he said there's a possibility, then they would either agree upon like, look, I might change my mind, and if at that time, would you be able to? And if not, then they probably would have, went their separate ways. But I think a lot of times there's a lack of communication prior to them being exclusive, while people are dating, and then the shit just becomes this whole fucking. It's like that, it's almost like that. Like you're cleaning your house, and instead of properly putting shit in the dustpan, you just wipe the shit underneath your sofa. So the shit just keeps building out more and more.
So it just spill out.
Yeah, until it becomes a fucking bigger issue. So communication is probably like the biggest disconnect that people need to work on. Moving on is, I guess we'll tackle like, why are men comfortable with a woman being more critical of other women and not okay with a man being critical of other men? And I know this is a big thing that Dev mentions on the Blueprint Live with like men not holding other men accountable.
It rarely ever, if never happens.
And I would agree that happens all the time. We definitely do not hold each other accountable. It depends on like, it's rare. It's very rare. It depends on like what type of dude I'm dealing with. Because we all have friends.
Right.
And some of your friends are, more rational people. Some of your friends have different lifestyles that they live. And as a man, like, if this dude is solid, like, he cares about women and things of that nature, and you see him moving kind of different, or he asks you for advice, you probably give him positive advice. But if you got that homeboy that he a slut, like, he just out here just smashing everything, I'm not gonna waste my time trying to tell him, like, you gotta change your lifestyle or you gotta treat these chicks different. Like, what kind of dude he is.
Yeah, my friend, I asked my friend Mike about this, and he pretty much said the same thing. Like, it depends. Like,
yeah, it
how close
depends.
are we as in friends, and then what exactly is going on. Like, if you ask me for advice, I'm gonna give it to you, but if I see you out here just acting up and just fucking shit up, like, I'm not.
Yeah, we definitely do not interfere.
Yeah,
we definitely do not interfere because I mean, usually don't happen when it comes to like relationships or whatever, but we've seen like situations that usually happen in the street life when dudes, you know, talking sideways out their mouth and shit gets crazy. Like, you never know how somebody's gonna react on their based off of your opinion on somebody.
But I just feel like men don't like being told they're fucking up. In general, they don't like hearing that. They don't like that criticism. But you'll
especially
sit back,
when it comes to dealing with women.
A lot of y'all need fucking help.
Yep.
If y'all didn't need help, y'all wouldn't have the problems y'all got now.
Yep.
And that's like the bottom line here. And I don't understand why that's so hard for them to understand. Like, you don't want a woman telling you how to be a man. So when a man is telling you what you're doing wrong and how you could fix it and be a man, it's still a fucking problem.
Yeah,
but you're still caught up in the situation.
They call him a sucker.
Yeah, you still caught up in the situation and you still fucking up. You still don't know what to do. You still getting it wrong. It's like you need to listen to somebody because clearly you don't have the fucking answers. Yeah. But then you'll hop on a bandwagon when another woman is trying to downplay another woman because you think it's funny because, like, yeah, that's what I be saying. It's like, you can't say shit because you're not even half the man that you need to be.
It goes back to the thing Amanda Seales said. It's like a lot of dudes out here do not see women as human beings. They just see them as vessels and do that shit because they never valued her in the first place.
It's like they can't accept
whoever's making that initial statement, it may be accurate, but that shit is not accurate for the entire group. That's only for a specific type of individual.
And that's what I always tell people. If it don't apply to you, why are you so tight?
Yeah.
If it doesn't apply to you, why are you so upset? Because you know it's a lot of dudes out here doing half the shit this man just said they doing.
Yeah.
And it's probably your homeboy, your brother, or your uncle, or somebody. Yeah. So check them. If not, shut the fuck up and mind your business like you've been doing. Yep. If it's not about you, don't worry about it. Same thing with women. If it's not about you, don't worry about it. They got other issues they dealing with.
This is true.
People are just sad. Sometimes.
Well, we said people are trash, so there's that.
I don't want y'all to be trash no more. Stop.
I don't know. Sanitation needs that overtime.
Yeah, I tried that, y'all.
Okay. What else we got here? I guess. What if the roles were reversed?
Right. Okay. And
if women responded like men and men responded like women, like, would you think things would be different?
They already respond like that. They already do. You know how many overly aggressive women there are?
Really?
Yes.
And overly aggressive in what facet?
I mean, I shouldn't say overly aggressive. Some women are very aggressive in their approach and their demeanor and how they talk. Some women don't know how to be women. Some women don't know how to be ladies.
Oh, okay.
They don't.
I'm thinking of like all the memes where they make fun of New York City girls.
Oh yeah.
Kill that shit, my guy.
That be getting on my nerves. Especially when somebody send it to me, I'll be like, see, now you want me to act like that. You trying to play with me.
And then you proceed to act like that.
Then I proceed to act like that. Because you brought it out of me.
Now you offended.
That get on my nerves.
Okay, so then because then I will admit that men are the new bitch ass. There's a lot of bitch ass niggas out here now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it definitely
complain
makes
about
sense.
every fucking thing.
Yeah. And then they be making points that's not even valid. Like, your whole shit was wrong.
It's dumb. Just say sorry. Just say sorry. My bad.
Oh, man. So what else we got here? If you were the opposite sex, what would you enjoy the most, least about it, and do you think it would help you relate to the other sex more?
What would I?
I'll always say that if I was born a woman, I'll probably be dumb tight at this point, because I have more women friends as opposed to male friends, so I hear all their stories about the shit that they deal with when it comes to men. So I know. If the shoe was on the other foot, shoes on the other foot, I probably would have caught a body already. I definitely probably would have killed that.
You would have been an aggressive New York woman.
I definitely would have killed a nigga already. Like, somebody's going to have to die. And it's just great. That whole, I couldn't even imagine it. Like, that it's a whole different psychological thing. Like, that shit is crazy. I don't know. Did you see the Dave Chappelle special yet or no?
I started watching it and I fell asleep.
Well, there's one point where he makes the correlation with, like, all the sexual assault stuff that's been going on. and he makes the correlation of how like when he was young, when he was in Brooklyn, when he used to live in Brooklyn, he used to do shows for like the local drug dealers or whatever, and they would pay him in cash. And one time this drug dealer paid him in like 20 bands, so he has to like ride the train back to Brooklyn in the 90s. So you already know like it's like seven. If there's 50 people in that cart, 45 of them are goons. So he's on the train with a backpack of $20,000, shook, knowing if anybody is to approach him about his book bag, like he could possibly lose his life. Yeah. Like he says, make that correlation of you having something that you know everybody would want. Now imagine you're a woman. You have a vagina, knowing that's something every man around you possibly wants. Like that's a completely different psychological thing. Like you literally can't trust anybody. Like normally as dudes,
that's the best.
Normally as dudes, like you only usually have your antennas up when you're in a neighborhood you're not familiar with, or you see somebody with a hood down or things of that nature. As a woman, you literally have to be on your P's and Q's with every single person around you.
It's crazy. Like that's the best.
Yeah, when he said that shit, I was in shock. I was like, yo, that's a crazy metaphor.
He's right. Because it's to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm coming home. What time is it? It's 10 o'clock. All right, am I going to walk down a back block, or am I going to walk on the avenue and just have to walk all the way around my block? All right, it's not that late. Oh, people are outside? Okay, so I'm just going to walk on the avenue and I'm just going to walk all the way around. Because the back block is too quiet and I don't want to walk down there. Because it's like a little area where it's completely dark. Like, it's too many things I have to think about just to walk 3 blocks.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's why I said, like, I definitely, just what I've known from what my female friends have dealt with when it comes to other dudes, like, I definitely probably would have killed somebody already. And like, niggas do some foul shit.
And then you walk
with
in.
no regard.
Or even on a train. You know, if I catch a train, somebody staring at me, I'm just like, oh my fucking God, please don't say nothing to me. Like, I get so much anxiety being on a train and a man is too close to me. I need space. Like, you're just...
Tourists need to catch up on
and
that.
I think men can sense when a woman is uncomfortable and they don't fucking care. Yeah. That's not, they don't care. What you uncomfortable for? I ain't trying to do nothing to you.
Savages.
It's
they
just like,
savages.
But you're making me uncomfortable. Can you just like move over a little bit? Mm-hmm. I'm walking down the street. This guy say hello to me. Like, hi, how are you? And I keep walking. He followed me half a block. This was Wednesday night. Followed me half a block.
Niggas be wild.
And if people wonder why I'm walking out with mace on me, I'm about to get a taser. It's like, what do you find? That's not okay for you to follow a woman at night, half a block. You said, have a good night. I said, thank you, you too. I'm being polite. You said something to me, I said something to you, and I kept walking.
That's the thing with what you were saying with the ego and earlier. Is like dudes feel like they're obligated. So he's saying hello, and you respond. Now he feels like you're obligated to have a conversation with him.
And then if I don't say nothing to him, it's like, all right, if I don't speak, is he going to follow me anyway and just start cursing at me? Like, what's going to happen next? You know, it's just too many scenarios and too many things I have to consider. Yeah. To the point I'm just like, nobody talk to me. Please, I hope I can walk down the block and nobody talk to me. I just want to get home.
I don't blame you. So I guess to wrap things up is like, you know, is there any advice we could give to people so we could probably like, you know, bridge this gap?
Just be better human beings. Be better to yourself, and when you're better to yourself, you can be better to somebody else.
This is true.
And let's just try to listen a little bit more. Let's just listen I always say listen to understand, then respond.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would have to agree with you with, you know, being better human beings. And speaking of that, I know we had a conversation about Drake and his God's Plan video.
Bruh, and how touching, when I tell you I cried.
And how touching that video was. And shit like that is inspiring, especially with like all the fuckery that we deal with as just, you know, people of color or just people in general. Because it doesn't even have to be a color thing. I mean, look at what happened in fucking Florida with the shooting.
Yes.
It's like, we just all have to just be better people at the end of the day. Whether same sex, different sex, sexual orientation, different races, like, it doesn't really matter.
We need to have more conversations with each other.
Yes.
Like, definitely. I'm the type of person, if I don't understand something, no matter who you are, I'm going to ask a question. And then I always say, I apologize if what I say is incorrectly, if I offend you, but I don't know. And then I follow up with a question, because you never know how someone may take something. So I feel like we're just more mindful of that.
And then we also, when we do have conversations, come in with an open mind.
Right. Right.
A lot of times people come into conversations just to make their point and just to
and
argue.
just leave. And like, I'm not trying to have a conversation with you to change your opinion. Keep your opinion, but also understand
Where
I'm coming from,
at the
because I
same
want to
time.
understand you as well, and maybe we can meet some kind of common ground. And I think if we just, implement that thought process and those behaviors into all kinds of relationships, we'll be a lot better. Like, I've changed so many things within my life, and I tell you, I have not one stress. I don't really get upset no more. Like, nothing really bothers me. Like, I'm just like, it is what it is.
Yeah, because stress kills people.
They laugh at me at work. I'd be like, okay. Because it's like, what you want me to say? Okay. That's all I got. Like, I don't know what else you want from me. Like, it's okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Tyrese. What more do you want from me?
So annoying. And then they nicknamed me Bishop. You remember Bishop from Juice?
Oh,
remember that
God.
scene? Remember that scene when they was in the elevator and Bishop just stood there looking straight with that plain face? I do that a lot, and that's usually when I'm about to get angry, and I just stop and I just stare up into space like, okay. So they nicknamed me Bishop. They were like, Bishop, snap out of it. Because I'm trying to change, and it's been doing really good. I don't want to have a relapse. So
You gotta relapse.
I think
It's soon come.
let's just be good to ourselves first. Let's try to be good to ourselves.
Word.
If we learn how to treat ourselves better, I really believe this. If we learn how to treat ourselves better, maybe a little bit.
Yeah,
little
we
bit
gotta
easier
really
to treat
I
other
always
people.
preach about like self-education. I think a lot of times people listen to, people online. Some of them are qualified, some of them aren't. Like,
Right.
go seek the education for yourself
Right.
and determine what works for you.
Take bits and pieces and take you with a grain of salt. Find out what works best for you.
Yeah.
I was telling Steven this early before we got here. Just find out what works best for you and go from there.
Yeah. So we want to thank y'all for listening. Really want to thank y'all because we recently hit 20,000 plays on SoundCloud. So we appreciate y'all tuning into our fuckery every week because we really have no idea how we got to this point. Like, this is episode 61.
It's so
Like,
weird.
we
like
never
that.
fucking planned this shit at all. Like, it literally was like January 2016. Like, we gotta start this podcast. It ain't start till September. And it's now fucking February 2018.
That's
and
crazy.
That's insane. Like, the show almost got canceled one time. Like, we was beefing one time. Like, mad shit happened at different points. But
and you would never know I hated Steven because we would still come in here and talk just like this, and I would go.
Yeah, we would dead ass smile and laugh to each other.
You know
and
the crazy. Let me tell you how fucking crazy we are. I hated Steven so much at this point in life, but I text him like The Walking Dead coming on. We still gotta watch it. And I went back to hating him.
And this is exactly why we're best friends. Because there's definitely been points where I was like, yo, I'm dead ass about to curse her fucking soul out. And then I'm just like, alright, yo, I'll talk to you later. And just hold the restraint. Because it's like, yo, I can't even imagine myself intentionally trying to disrespect you.
Yeah.
We've done it to each other, like, unintentionally.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine, like, I would be hurt. Like, I would send a wild text, and then I'd be feeling bad immediately. Like, yo, why did I just send that to her? Alright, let me apologize. Like, and then I don't even want to apologize. It'll probably make me even more tight.
Because you got to apologize. Yeah, that's how it usually go.
But yes, we appreciate everybody for tuning in to us. Yes, again, 20,000 plays. That's definitely an accomplishment. Never thought we would do something like that. You could tune in every Monday morning on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, any and everywhere that you listen to podcasts. And yeah, we appreciate and love all of y'all. And,
Yep.
talk nice to us.
Yep.
So we'll see y'all next week.
Yep. Bye, guys.
We are out here. Fuck y'all talking about? Sophisticated ignorance. Are y'all fucking crazy?
That's a fact. Talk
Are
that
y'all
shit.
crazy? Yo, y'all get me tight. Like, I be out here trying to be humble. Let's not get fucking crazy. Sophisticated ignorance. All right?